New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. And good morning, dear ones. My name's Reverend Robert Brzezinski. This is normally Be Your Own Hero with Sekou Writes, and this week it is Be Sekou's Hero with myself and anybody else that might drop in. We don't know what's going to happen here this week, but we've opened up the studio and we want to be with you, and we want to be with Sekou, and we want him to know that we're here. And so throughout today's broadcast and throughout this, explain a little bit here in a minute what we're doing this week and how this all moves forward. But what I want you to know is we want to hear your shout outs. Please add your voice, add your prayers. Let us know in the comments how much you love Sekou. And what I have been told is he will be watching these broadcasts, maybe not live, but perhaps later in the day. And so we want to lift him in spirit, lift him in prayer, lift his entire family and everyone in prayer. We'll be doing some prayer here in a little bit. So please join us in the comments. Shout out your love and support for Sekou as we go along today. Okay, so here's the plan. This network thrives on fresh live content. And while we use rebroadcast sparingly and when we need to, what we've noticed is, and what we believe is that I don't know that we're doing Sekou a service by continuing to run rebroadcasts of older material that often we recognize as maybe still relevant in theory and an idea. However, the examples and where he is in his life is different. So what we want to do is we're creating this week of broadcasting, this week alone, today through Friday, every morning, 7:45 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Mountain Time, the normal time frame that Sekou occupies here on the New Thought Media Network, 9:45 to 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Time. It means it's 8:45 for you in the Central Time Zone. I'm usually pretty good with my time zones, folks. But what we'll be doing is lifting up Sekou in prayer and providing updates on his healing and his journey as appropriate. And then weekly updates beginning next week. We'll go to just Wednesday updates. So we won't be here Monday through Friday. We'll just be here on Wednesdays providing a weekly update. That way, as Sekou heals and as he feels ready to come back onto broadcasting, he can step back in a leisurely way or in a less intensive way just on Wednesdays. If we determine in the future, if he determines in the future that no, we're not going to do any more broadcasting, we still want to maintain this space as sacred and hold this time slot so that he may return to this if he desires. Sekou, I know you're watching, so that's going to be your decision, brother. You get to tell us how you really want this to go. So feel free to let your mom or someone get in touch and let us know what we're doing. We're hoping that Rev Melissa will be here perhaps maybe a little later today or tomorrow. She has, it's really, we have to give the big shout out to Rev Melissa because Rev Melissa was doing her program when she and I found each other and connected and started to have conversations, and she came over to the network. Sekou was helping her, and then that naturally grew, and he approached me and said, hey, can I have a show too? And I was like, of course, man. Yeah, let's figure it out. Let's make it happen. And what came forward was Be Your Own Hero. So if you were with us yesterday, you know I was wearing my Hero hoodie yesterday, but it's even warmer today than it was yesterday, so I couldn't do that again, folks. But I so appreciate the work that Sekou does with the be your own hero concept and the hero hoodies. And we've been talking for a while about making something happen here in the Denver area, and it looks like it might be getting closer. We'll see what happens. There's some things that are moving in the next couple of weeks that I'm not allowed to talk about yet that may help us to be able to bring hero hoodies here to the Denver market and to the Denver area, regardless of how, if Sekou's willing to travel or able to travel at that point. But I so appreciate how he gives and of himself, how he supports and gets people moving. Oh, there's Melissa. Okay, not today, but she'll be on tomorrow. There we go. Good. We'll get to see Rev Melissa tomorrow. Thank you, dear one, for chiming in. And I'm so inspired by all the various ways that Sekou finds to be a beneficial presence on the planet. It's a big part of what this is all about. That each and every one of us is here to find our way, to find our unique avenue, our unique channel, our unique way of expressing as a beneficial presence to humanity's evolution, to humanity's evolution in consciousness. And Sekou does that. And he's been doing that with us here on the New Thought Media Network for just about 2 years now, actually. So we want to be in this place of, now it's also been said, you can't hold consciousness. We're not here to hold consciousness. What we're here to do is to be in consciousness, knowing that there is a great healing happening for Sekou. And as I said, we'll get into a big old prayer here in a few minutes for Sekou and for his healing and for this. And no matter who, when we go through, I believe, when we go through a body healing, a physical healing of some sort, part of it is really a deep time to look within and reflect. And Sekou's experience is not a death sentence. It is not the end of who he is and who he gets to be and how he's going to show up. Yes, this will change how he shows up. This will change his inspiration, if you will, or his motivation, if you will. This may change the direction in which he does his work. And until I hear differently, I'm holding on to a vision of Sekou being able to run the New York Marathon. Those that follow his show know that he was working hard to get that spot and to be able to run in the marathon. Now, maybe that doesn't happen this year, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It doesn't mean what's happened here, what has occurred. It doesn't mean that Sekou has to give up on his dreams. It just means that there may be a different avenue to get there, and he's being given an opportunity to heal and to be, and I trust, surrounded in prayer, in consciousness for his healing, for for every aspect, for everyone that's involved in this. And our friend Linda, she's hitting it on you're getting it exactly right, Linda. Continuing to conclude Sekou, his healing, his family and friends, and the entire healthcare team in my prayers. Thank you, Linda. That is what we're doing. We're recognizing that the hands of God, the hands of the divine, are operating through and as everyone involved in this. Mama Sekou, Sekou himself, Rev Melissa, the team here at New Thought Media Network, his healthcare team, whether that's physical therapists or occupational therapists or speech therapists or whatever it is, whoever is involved, everyone that's involved. And so part of what we do is we raise up this vibration of love and healing and understanding and compassion, and we raise up the vibration of healing. And what we do is, I believe and trust, is that creates a ripple effect. and that attracts more people. Now, they may not know why, and they may not even know what's going on, but they just know that, wow, you got something, I don't know. And I hear this all the time. You got something, I don't know what it is, but I want it. And Sekou is that in the world as well. When you interact with him, when you see him, you know that there's something special within this man, and we want part of it. And part of that is, I believe, the ripple effect of a consciousness of wholeness, of healing, a consciousness of the oneness. And as we bask in that, as we anchor ourselves, as we ground ourselves in that awareness, in that consciousness of wholeness, of oneness, then more and more people want to experience that. So as we join in collective prayer today, what we're doing is we're joining in a collective consciousness. Yeah, I'm going to speak the words, but I invite you to substitute any words that may work for you if the ones I'm saying aren't working for you. I'm going to invite you to take the vibration we create and use that vibration, cultivate that vibration, nurture that vibration throughout your day. Nurture that vibration, maybe intensely while we're praying, but then throughout the day, wherever it may be, the consciousness of wholeness pops up, and boom, and we are right back into the prayer for Sekou and his healing. Because more than anything right now, what I encourage Sekou to move himself into that consciousness of oneness as quickly and as rapidly as possible when faced with any of the unique or different conditions or experiences than he's ever had. He's going through things that never experienced before, and most likely never anticipated or never planned for, obviously, and nobody plans for these things. So we get to be the consciousness that supports Sekou in remembering moment by moment by moment by moment, remembering his own divinity and remembering that everyone around him is lifting him in prayer and in the healing flow of life. And then we get to demonstrate. We get to demonstrate what it is that's happening. Now, one of the ways we can demonstrate what's going on in our truth and everything is on the GoFundMe page. Whoops. Sorry. I was changing something. Let's go back. There it is. One of the ways that we can show him our love financially is through the GoFundMe page. And I'm really excited because I'm going to click this button. Yesterday, I made a donation in the morning before the program on behalf of the New Thought Media Network. It came through as my individual name. But since that time, there has been $400 more donated to this GoFundMe. So we encourage you here at the New Thought Media Network, if you can. There we are. I changed the words of support on there. If you can, if it's within your means, if it's within your heart and you're able to, I invite you to please head on over and drop a few bucks in the kitty. And this is the time more than ever that we need to support our brother. And I don't know the financial situation. I don't know any of the family details here. But what I know is every dollar is going to make Sekou smile. Every dollar is going to bring a sense of relief to him and his financial situation regarding this. Every contribution is going to remind him of his oneness and the connection that we all have. So please click that link. It's in the description of today's show. You can just go to GoFundMe and do a search for Sekou Writes, and it'll show up, and be a part of the demonstration of it as well. So we have the consciousness in our prayer, and we have the direct action that we take, whether that's a financial donation or perhaps it's a letter of support. And what we'll do is I will There is also a great Facebook group out there now, Facebook group that's forming, Running for Sekou. Just search for Running for Sekou, and you should be able to find that. And perhaps share on the Facebook group a picture of yourself, or there are a lot of people that are sharing their runs. If you're a runner and you track your run, share that on the Facebook group. Every piece, every reminder that we're all here on his behalf, that we're all here supporting Sekou, is going to go a long, long way towards building the consciousness of the healing. We go in consciousness, we follow divine action. That divine action leads to a new piece, a new awareness in our consciousness, and that leads to a new inspiration in divine action. I think you're following along. All right, enough of me. Let's get into this prayer here, folks. Otherwise, we're going to be here all morning. We got just about enough time to prayer and let you get back into your day. And so I invite you to join me in the consciousness. To close the eyes, to close out the hustle and the bustle of the human world, and bring to your mind an image of Sekou. Bring to your mind an image of this dear soul that chose to take human form in order to bring forth onto the planet more good, in order to express an experience and expressive greatness. A divine soul that took this human form to serve each one of us as friend, as family, as a teacher, as an inspiration. And what I know is I know the divine, I know God, or whatever name we may use to call this power. I know that oneness is revealing itself as all of life, every form of life, every expression of life, every human being, every furry creature, every creepy, crawly creature, winged creature, scaly creature, even the bugs and even the microbes in the dirt and in the ocean. All part of the one life that is God's life. And what I know is I know God's life is absolutely perfect. There's nothing missing, nothing absent, nothing wrong, nothing broken in the life of the divine. And so I know that one life that is God's life, that is perfect, is expressing itself as my life, as your life, perfectly. The oneness is revealing itself as Sekou perfectly. Nothing missing, nothing absent, nothing wrong, nothing broken. What I know is I know that Sekou brings a unique set of gifts and skills and talents to this thing called life. That he is a wholly unique emanation of the divine flow, of the divine life that is God's life. He brings forward gloriousness. He's an expression of greatness, and he shares his love and compassion and understanding and inspiration. He has always been all that, and forevermore shall be all that. For that is what he came to be. Love and inspiration, caring and compassion. A true servant to humanity's evolution. For we know the work that he does. We know the work that he does is important work. And that work begins in consciousness first, begins in the mind first, and then flows into inspired action, then finds its way into form. Whether it's serving the unhoused or serving his physical fitness in the body temple, learning and exploring and sharing the concepts of investment, financial management, financial well-being. See, what we know is we know Sekou is a divine conduit that God reveals itself through and as. And so he has that opportunity. He has within him a mind that makes choices. And while his body temple is moving through this healing process, we know the mind grows, the mind is forever active, bringing forth into his awareness new ideas, next steps. And we claim for Sekou a great sense of healing, a great sense of patience as the body heals, as the mind reveals itself even more. We claim for Sekou a mighty healing, lifting him in a vision of wholeness, of oneness, a vision of Sekou bringing forth onto the planet even more inspiration, even more entertainment, more insight. He is a divine vessel of the one God. He is unique and whole in his magnificence. This truth I know, and so I claim for Sekou that same knowing. I claim for Sekou that same sense of determination that nothing shall keep him down, nothing shall hold him back from fulfilling the great mission he is here to fulfill, for fulfilling his soul's purpose. For what we know is his soul is still at work, still moving him forward, calling him to his greatness. And no matter what the future may hold, no matter what comes next, what I know is I know it must be magnificent. I know it must be glorious, for it could be nothing else. I claim for Sekou this same knowing. I claim for him that as he hears these words, he feels the vibration of love that we are creating together. For each one here is raising up that vibration of love and potentiality, that sense of wholeness, a vision of Sekou running a New York marathon, running marathons across the planet. We claim in our hearts and we hold in our minds the vision of this huge divine human being, whole and strong and one in his magnificence and his glory. Recognizing he is greatness and he comes from greatness and he is bringing even more greatness onto the planet. And this physical experience is just another story along the journey. It is a story of respite. It is a story of renewal. It is a story of Sekou's deep, deep commitment to serve humanity's evolution. So I know, and I claim for Sekou a deep knowing that the healing is happening, the healing is occurring, that he is moving through this experience into even greater opportunities to love, to share, to be, to make a difference on the planet, to serve humanity's evolution, and thereby change the course of human history. This is what I know of Sekou, and I claim for him a deep, deep knowing that all this and so much more is assured, that as he says yes to this mighty vision, as he says yes to his own healing, then that healing is compounded. As we each say yes to the vision of Sekou as whole, as complete, nothing broken, nothing missing, nothing absent, nothing wrong. As we envision him in his wholeness, we are adding to the vibration of that truth, adding to the vibration of that truth of his oneness. And I am filled with a deep, deep sense of knowing this truth, envisioning this man, this human, this one divine expression of God, whole and complete in his magnificence. Grateful Grateful to be a part of this community, grateful to serve in sharing this word, grateful to be part of the vigil, the consciousness that knows Sekou as whole, grateful to know that God's got this, and so we can all get out of the way. Grateful to lift everyone that is a part of this healing journey, no matter what the title or the name or the occupation may be, no matter how each one may serve, lifting everyone that's a part of this healing journey in divine prayer, knowing the magnificence of God is revealing itself as this team and as Sekou. Knowing his wholeness as the truth of the divine right now. And so I am grateful to be a part of this all. Grateful to witness the divine revelation, the grand healing, the great story that is Sekou's life. Most especially grateful to know God's got this. God's on the job here. God's directing this magnificent play with Sekou at the center, the leading man. And all is well. So I get myself out of the divine circuits. I release this word into the universal law, the law of the universe that must demonstrate, that must manifest according to the beliefs lifted up here this day in this prayer. I let go, I release, I let God do what God does. Be God as Sekou. And if any of this has resonated in any way, please join me in an affirmation of truth as we say together. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you, dear ones, for being with us. Timothy, thank you, sir, for being with us. Stacy, thank you for being with us. Anyone else that's there and hasn't chatted in, no worries. We know you're with us in consciousness. That's what it's all about. Nan and Pam and those that maybe drop in and drop out. We appreciate every ounce of consciousness you bring to this. This man is being lifted up. There's Nan. Good to see you, dear one. All right, I'm Rev Robert. I'm getting out of here for now, folks. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow. It sounds like Rev Melissa will be with us tomorrow, so we'll pray with Rev Melissa on this tomorrow. Be with us and through the rest of the week, and then starting next week, we'll be here on Wednesdays at this time frame to offer prayer and healing updates and let you know a little bit more about how Sekou is doing as we move forward. The New Thought Media Network, we're here every day, bringing new and more positive broadcasting to the airwaves, to the internets. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back in just a few moments with morning prayers. Rev Melissa will be with us at 8:30 Mountain Time for the morning sip. Later today, it's Women of Power at 1 p.m. Mountain Time with Laura Topper. I'll be back with New Thought today at 2 p.m. Myself, Reverend Elzia Sekou, and our special guest, Reverend Ruth Miller. That's going to be a great show. Don't miss this one, I promise. All right, I'm out of here for now, folks. Thanks again for being with us. We'll be back in this Being Sekou's Hero tomorrow, same time. We get to be his hero and lift this man in prayer. Thank you for being with us. I love you all. Until next time, I wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now.